And you just listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. It covers all those aspects affecting the various sections of our people. Limbe was the geography of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic genesis was at Government College, Ujeli. And
go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, the Songo camp, you don't compensate everybody.
In its key generation sometimes. Today,
Gorilla is understood in the sense of Wilson and Reader in 1993. As such, it includes three subspecies: the Western Lowland gorilla, referred to as gorilla, and two eastern subspecies, the Eastern Lowland gorilla, referred to as gorilla graueri, and the mountain gorilla, referred to as gorilla Mbongaya. The most usual present treatment, however, recognizes the western and eastern populations as separate full species, gorilla and gorilla Mbongaya respectively. The eastern and western populations are separated by approximately 1,000 kilometers. Western and eastern subpopulations can be distinguished based on external features, and clear geographic and morphological distinctions can also be seen. The western group comprises the isolated Nigeria-Cameroon gorillas, now recognized as a subspecies, Cross River gorilla Dieli, and the Western Lowland gorilla, though there is much divergence even within this subgroup. The eastern group includes both the Eastern Lowland gorilla Mbongaya graueri and the two mountain populations of gorilla Mbongaya. So thank you very much for talking about gorillas, and thank you so much for talking to people, places and events, and to the African Center for Community and Development. What can you tell me about gorillas?
Firstly, to tell you about gorillas, I'll tell you the various kinds of gorillas that exist in the world. There are two main species of gorillas that exist in the world: the Western gorilla and the Eastern gorillas. Western gorillas are all the two species are further split up into two subspecies to make four subspecies. The Western gorilla is split up into Western Lowland gorilla and Cross River gorilla, and Eastern gorilla is split up into Eastern Lowland gorilla and Mountain gorilla. So far in Cameroon we have only the Western Lowland gorilla and Cross River gorilla. And in this captivity we have 13 Western Lowland gorilla and 1 Cross River gorilla. And this Cross River gorilla is the only Cross River gorilla that is in captivity in the whole world. And amongst the subspecies of gorillas, the Cross River gorilla is the most menaced and the most endangered subspecies.
Why?
Because their number is remaining less than 300 in the wild. And I would like to make people be aware of the fact that if we kill 10 of these Cross River gorillas every day, in a month's time, they're going to get extinct and meet the dinosaur story.
So, these gentle giants, what can you tell me about their habits and what do they eat here and their reproductive biology? How similar are they to man?
The most outstanding similarity is the gestation period. The gestation period is 9 months, like that of human. And after these 9 months, when they give birth to the child, they can wean the child only after 4 or 5 years. And the next child can be born only between 4 to 8 years after the first child was born.
What are the problems they face here in captivity now?
The greatest problem they face in captivity is the fact that they are like in incarceration, because back in the wild they can move in one day many kilometers, but here, because of the smallness of the enclosure, their movement is limited, because whatever they want to see they can stand from one end and see. Meanwhile, in the natural environment they are exploitative and covers longer distances.
So are they polygamous? The dominant male has how many wives? So
mostly for the gorillas, Gorillas are the primate that mostly have a one male multi-female community, but sometimes you have more than one male. But most often there is a dominant male, even if there are multiple of males. And the dominant male is the one who gives the group maximum protection from any intruder. And at the same time, it's a dominant male who's in charge of reproduction and breeding.
All gorillas are generally related to the dominant male.
Yes, of course. And the dominant male is so brave that he is compared to between 5 to 10 men who are as strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the dominant male and many others, even the female, they can hold a man, the two hands of a man, and dismember you like you can remove a page from within a book.
So how then are they gentle?
They are gentle not because they are not powerful. They are gentle because they will hardly attack you without you provoking them. So even back in the wild, you can pass about 10 meters close to a gorilla. The gorilla won't do you anything if you didn't provoke or do anything to threaten the gorilla. So they are very docile and gentle and calm.
Tourists pay a lot to watch them. Why do you think this is not very developed in Cameroon?
Again,
tourists pay a lot to watch them, about $500 in other countries,
yeah,
like Uganda and Rwanda, but that's not what is taking place in Cameroon. What is your impression of all that?
I don't really know why it's happening like this. Might be the Cameroon because of their unique biodiversity, having variety of species that are not found elsewhere in the wild. They just feel like offering the opportunity for people to see them, kind of say token free, or because they always want to conserve biodiversity, and in doing that you have to do a lot of sacrifices. You have to make people get awareness free of charge.
All right. How long can gorillas live?
Yeah, the gorillas can live for up to about 50 years.
Almost like men.
Yeah, can live for between 45, 50 years, you know. And in one's lifespan, it can bear, a female's lifespan, she can bear about 3 kids for dying.
Wow.
Yeah.
The female gorilla starts reproducing at what age?
For their maturity, the gorillas, female gorillas get matured earlier at between 6 and 7 years, while male gorillas get matured at between 7 to 9 years.
Wow.
Generally, I would advise people not to eat gorillas firstly because their number is too small in the wild, their reproductive rate is too slow, and then there is nothing so peculiar about gorillas' meat that they can't find from other sources of meat like mutton, beef, and I mean they can even tend to fishes, you know. What is so peculiar about gorilla that people have to eat? They have to stop eating gorilla for a while. By the time the population rises to a level, they can start eating them, but sustainably.
So you mean that maybe the production of fish needs to be stepped up, alternatives, in order that gorillas can be conserved?
Confirmed.
Mr. Abang Makia, you have been assisting the African Center for Community and Development in carrying out a marathon interview at the Limbe Wildlife Center. What is your impression so far of these animals and of this program in the making?
As a matter of fact, it has been too fascinating going around through the Limbe Wildlife Center to see the various animals and the various species of animals here. And the talk we just had from Mr. Smith, it's been so great. That's enlightening us, giving us a deep knowledge about gorillas, chimpanzees, crocodiles, and a whole lot not. So it's been so fascinating as a whole.
Thank you very much for talking to people, places and events, and to the African Center for Community and Development.
Like a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his poem Akbar Dancer.
Some lives are meaningful.
Some are empty.
There are lives that are eventful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures and no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary lives.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.